Breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Monday evening. Welcome to the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and Fox News Now. If you're watching on TV, I'm Randy Rosetta. We're going to talk some high school sports for the next hour and a half like we do every Monday and Wednesday. Last Wednesday was a little bit special. We talked to the three public school athletic directors about realignment. Got those three guys together, and I told all three of them I wanted three guys a lot smarter than me to come in and talk about it because it was a pretty big day. I'm going to get Tony Wagner and talk a little bit about it. It didn't affect them too much, but you never know how it may affect things down the road. We are going to have on tonight, we're going to have Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty. We'll jump back in Wednesday with Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. That's the normal lineup. Like I said, we strayed last week a little bit, but we're back on schedule. And we're past the meat of the basketball season. We're getting into crunch time now. We get these guys to talk a little bit about where they're headed. We don't know exactly who and exactly where, but they're headed to the playoffs because them and Liberty have already sewn that up in their district. If you're watching on TV, Tony Wagner's to my far left. It's a very familiar name and face to folks in Lubbock basketball circles. Remind me again, 19 years?
18.
18? Mm-hmm. 18 as a head coach?
18 as a head coach.
And before that, you were with Tim Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was asking me about Tim the other day. They said, I don't know if Tim's changed or not. Tim's not changed.
He's not changed.
He's still Tim. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm going to let you introduce your guys. Guys, when you talk, hold it above the silver and talk, hold it close and use your outside voice. Brennan will adjust you there. Introduce these guys, Tone.
Shakur Wilburn, a junior, junior guard.
Coach got his own mic there.
Yeah. Shakur Wilburn, junior guard, and Andre Langston, junior guard.
They put that mic over there because it picks up coaches' voices very well. These are, if folks haven't been paying attention for the last 2 years, these are the two best players in Lubbock, Texas, sitting right here between me and Tony. These are the two of the guys that have got you going all season. Let me call up the standings here before I start misquoting things here. But we've talked about this several times, Wag. These are your dudes, but the way you've had some young guys kind of step in and do some different things this year, this has been a fun team to watch. Has it been a fun team to coach from day one?
Yeah, we kind of expected that. We knew going into our offseason last year that we had lost a lot and that we were going to have to depend on some other guys. And so we didn't wait until the season started. We had those sessions last summer, and those guys showed up to those sessions, and you can tell that they put in a lot of work.
Is Coach Wagner's sessions still the same as they always are?
Yes, sir, they are.
Still get a little work in? Shakur, I've said to you a couple times, you're like the old man of the bunch now. You've been around since you were a freshman. I can't remember what game I talked to you, but you hear people say a lot that, yes, Shakur, he can shoot the ball. Shakur's a shooter. You're not just a shooter. You're a basketball player, and you've shown that a bunch this year. What have you had to do kind of to take on a different role as a leader, kind of as almost like a mother hen with these guys that are kind of learning the ropes and learning how to play varsity basketball?
I had to just step up my game a little bit and put in even more work than I did last year, and I had to be a leader way more than I was last year. And I had like guys like Tim and Moses, and I had to show and bring on what I did last year onto this team.
You played with some vocal older guys. That's when Coach talks about those guys moving on. That's good basketball players, but that's vocal leader guys that have been around Coach long enough to know what he's saying. Andre, you played some as a freshman. Now you kind of had to grow up pretty quick as far as being a sophomore and being on the varsity. What's it been like for you this year to have to grow up like that?
Just step up, make sure the younger players play confident, make sure they don't get down on themselves for making a mistake because it happens to everybody.
Because there's some, when you say younger players, some are actually older than you.
Yeah.
Less experienced players, but you're a basketball guy. You're a coach, what Coach and I would call gym rats from days of old. I don't know if that's if you're allowed to say that anymore or not. I don't know if there's any PC police that will get on me for that, but you guys spend a lot of time in the gym. Has any of the football coaches since you've been there trying to pull you away from Coach Wagner, see if you can come out and catch a pass?
Definitely.
Yeah, I bet, especially watching you the last few years, I know I think they tried to get Tim Perez at one point to come and play football, didn't they, Wag?
Yeah, they try to get these guys. These guys don't like no contact. I can't even get them to take a charge. I know they don't want to get tackled.
No, that's not true. I think I've seen both these guys take a charge at least once this season. Yeah. That's a lost art. There's certain kids that'll do it, and certain kids that don't like doing it that much. Estacado is 24-6, 9-1. I was so wrapped up in doing some other stuff, I didn't even check the TABC rankings. I'm going to guess you guys are still in there somewhere. We've talked on here before. The TABC rankings are nice to see your name in there. Doesn't matter until you get to the end of the season what that TABC ranking says. You guys are tied in the loss. That's correct. You're tied in the loss column with Liberty. I think Liberty's played one less game than you. Tied for first place. You're both in the playoffs. You guys have played 2 games since the Liberty game.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about. We're coming up on the first break. I want to talk about what you guys have done to grow since that game. That was a rough night. And in all fairness to you guys, Liberty came out with blood in their eyes. They came out and played as I've seen Estacado teams play like that. I've not seen a whole lot of other teams play the way they did that night. Sometimes it just happens. You guys have bounced back. I know you beat Memorial Friday. You've got on the road at Levelland Tuesday, tomorrow. And I know you guys handled them pretty well. We'll talk a little more about that as well after the break. But that second time's always a little different when you play a team. So coming up on the first break, this is the High School Fan Zone. We're in the Matador Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. We'll be back on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Estacado athletics. You're listening to the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the Matador Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. Before we jump in there real quick, I want to throw this out. I know 4 girls teams, 3 UIL teams and 1 TAPS team have they have set up their playoff matchups already. In Estacado's district, those 3 teams have set things up. Estacado girls play Brock, I believe is, no. He told me who they played. They play Brownwood. They play Brownwood at 6 p.m. next Monday at McMurray University. The Liberty girls play, I'm going to have to look it up. I know the Memorial girls play Stephenville. That is 7:30 or 6:30 Tuesday at ACU. If Morgan's listening, she can tell me when she gets here. I've got it on my phone here somewhere. The Liberty girls play 6:30 Monday at ACU. So all 3 4A teams get going Monday and Tuesday. And then All Saints has a playoff for seeding game tomorrow in Plainview against San Jacinto to determine the number 1 seed from that district. And I think Kyle Simons from All Saints just texted me that All Saints boys play at home at 3 p.m. Friday in their first round game. They're still waiting to determine who they play. Matadors are in the playoffs. Tony Wagner said you guys don't know. Their district is to be determined, but you guys know you're going to play somebody from that district that's been a pretty good district for the last couple of years. I'm going to guess that as good as you guys are, as good as a season as you have had, these next few games are important. But I'm going to let these players answer this. I'm going to guess you're eager to get in and just get the playoffs started after what you experienced last year. You know this is a good team. You know you've got a chance to do some things. Andre, how excited are you guys to get to that point and get going?
I'm really excited because I want to make it to the same point we made it to last year, even further.
I know you were on the team last year. Did you play against Alice Kimball?
Yes, sir.
That was a little bit eye-opening for everybody, just how good they were. Shakur, how much has that game stuck with you in the offseason? Because both you guys had great offseasons. Every time I opened up Twitter, I'd see you guys named on there doing something. That was a tough loss that night. How much has that kind of burned in your belly that you got to see how good a team that you were going to have to beat to get even further?
It really stuck with me and showed that, like, not only me, but I think our guys are on the same level as them. That we might not get talked about as much as they do, but it's all basketball at the end of the day, and we can compete on that level. Especially this year, I think we can make a run to state championship.
I think sometimes people forget, and Coach Wagner's been out here a long time, people forget that kids can play a little bit of basketball here, boys and girls, and you get to that level, and it's good. To me, it was good for you guys to see that. Now, you've had a good season since then, Tony. we mentioned the Liberty game the other day. Liberty played as well as they could have played, handed you guys a pretty good loss. That's been a week and a few days now. What have you seen from your guys that encourages you, that tells you they took something from that loss and turned it into something good?
You know, I'm not one of those guys to say we needed that to happen. You know, I think everything happens for a reason. They responded really well in practices. They've come, they've shown up, they've done exactly what we need to do to work on some things. Also, I think they understand you can't take things for granted. You can't assume that things are just going to happen your way. You have to always bring your best to play, and that you're going to get everybody's best whenever we play. And so I think they fully understand that now, and I'm looking forward to them responding in a positive way by winning when it matters.
And you and I have talked about it. Mike Meeks talked about it the other day on that show. It's been good for you guys to have Liberty in your district, because now you have a team that's right here in town that will push you, that will give you everything they've got. Your district, with all due respect to the other teams, has not been great. Now you have at least 2 games, and probably I'd say 3, 4, 5 maybe, when Memorial has gotten better, Liverland's gotten better. Your guys are going to get tested a little bit more in this district than maybe they had for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's been fun having them in our district. You know, I just hope it's sustainable. You know, where it becomes like a yearly deal. And not just, you know, you get for a couple of years and then it's back to how it was. So hopefully when Parker does a great job over there. But, you know, I like to have a sustainable, consistent, and I love to be in that 5A district. You know,
see if you guys can opt up. See if Eric Ward will go along with that.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. But I mean, I love to be there. That fired me up to see that, because every night those kids gonna have to compete and play at a high level, and so the playoff games, you know, they're used to being in that atmosphere already. And we've had a couple of instances where it looks like playoff games for us, and we survived one and we didn't survive one. So. Yep. But I'm looking forward to how it all matches out at the end.
What about you two? Do you like having Liberty in that district with you? Because you're going to be around for another year, another 2 years. You know that they're going to come out, they're going to have blood in their eyes just like they did the other night.
Yes, sir, I do like it. It pushes us, get us ready for the playoffs. Like in past years, like my freshman year, it wasn't as like competitive, you could say. But now we have to like come to play every single time we face off with Liberty.
All right, Andre, you got 10 seconds. What do you think about Liberty being right down the street and you get to play them a couple times a year?
I like them being in our district because just really test us, so we know what to work on before playoffs get started. Make sure we can just sharpen up everything that we can do. Yep,
because I'll tell a lie. What's not a lie here was a little bit of trouble to find games of yours to cover in years past, because I was just like, I'll go out and watch them win by 40. I'll wait and see them in the playoffs. So that's going to do it for the Matador Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break with, I think Josh Davis is here in the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.